Dedication. To T.A. I have made for you a song, and it may be right or wrong, but only you can tell me if it's true. I have tried for to explain both your pleasure and your pain, and Thomas, here's my best respects to you. Oh, there'll surely come a day when they'll give you all your pay, and treat you as a Christian ought to do. So until that day comes round, heaven keep you safe and sound. And Thomas, here's my best respects to you. R.K. First Series 1892. Danny Deever. What are the bugles blowin' for, said Falson Parade. To turn you out, the colour sergeant said. What makes you look so white, said Falson Parade. I'm dreadin' what I've got to watch, the colour sergeant said. For there a hangin' Danny Deever, you can hear the dead march play. The regiments in Allo Squarethia, hangin' him today. They've taken of his buttons off and cut his stripes away. And there a hangin' Danny Deever in the mornin'. What makes the rear rank breathe so hard, said Falson Parade. It's bitter cold, the colour sergeant said. What makes that front rank man fall down, said Falson Parade. A touch, oh son, the colour sergeant said. They are hangin' Danny Deever, they are marchin' of I.M. round. They ave alted Danny Deever by his coffin on the ground. An L swingin' off a minute for a sneakin' shootin' hound. Oh, they're a hangin' Danny Deever in the mornin'. His cart was right and cart to mine, said Falson Parade. He's sleepin' out and far tonight, the colour sergeant said. I've drunk his beer a score o' times, said Falson Parade. He's drinkin' bitter beer alone, the colour sergeant said. They are hangin' Danny Deever, you must mark I.M. to his place. For he shot a comrade sleepin', you must look I.M. in the face. 900 of his county and the regiment's disgrace. While they're a hangin' Danny Deever in the mornin'. What's that so black agin the sun, said Falson Parade. It's Danny fightin' hard for life, the colour sergeant said. What's that whimpers overread, said Falson Parade. It's Danny's soul that's passin' now, the colour sergeant said. For they're a done with Danny Deever, you can 'ear the quick-step play. The regiment's in column and they're a marchin' us away. Ho, the young recruits are shackin' and they'll want their beer today. After hangin' Danny Deever in the mornin'. Tommy. I went into a public house to get a pint o' beer. The publican up and says, we serve no redcoats here. The girls baned the bar, they laughed and giggled fit to die. I outs into the street again and to myself says I, oh, it's Tommy this and Tommy that and Tommy go away. But it's thank you, Mr. Atkins, when the band begins to play. The band begins to play, my boys, the band begins to play. Oh, it's thank you, Mr. Atkins, when the band begins to play. I went into a theatre as sober as could be. They gave a drunk civilian room, but hadn't none for me. They sent me to the gallery or round the music halls. But when it comes to fightin', Lord, they'll shove me in the stalls. For it's Tommy this and Tommy that and Tommy wait outside. But it's special train for Atkins when the troopers on the tide. The troopship's on the tide, my boys, the troopship's on the tide. Oh, it's special train for Atkins when the troopers on the tide. Yes, Mac and Mark, oh, uniforms that guard you while you sleep. Is cheaper than them uniforms and they're a starvation cheap. And hustlin' drunken soldiers when they're a goin' large a bit. Is 5 times better business than paradin in full kit. Then it's Tommy this and Tommy that and Tommy owes your soul. But it's thin red line of heroes when the drums begin to roll. The drums begin to roll, my boys, the drums begin to roll. Oh, it's thin red line of heroes when the drums begin to roll. We aren't no thin red heroes nor we aren't no blackguards too. But single men in barracks most remarkable like you. And if sometimes our conduct isn't all your fancy paints, why single men in barracks don't grow into plaster saints. While it's Tommy this and Tommy that and Tommy full baned. But it's pleased to walk in front, sir, when there's trouble in the wind. There's trouble in the wind, my boys, there's trouble in the wind. Oh, it's pleased to walk in front, sir, when there's trouble in the wind. You talk o' better food for us in schools and fires and all. Well, wait for extra rations if you treat us rational. Don't mess about the cookroom slops but prove it to our face. The widow's uniform is not the soldierman's disgrace. For it's Tommy this and Tommy that and chuck him out the brute. But it's saviour of is country when the guns begin to shoot. And it's Tommy this and Tommy that and anything you please. And Tommy ain't a bloomin' fool you bet that Tommy sees. Fuzzy wuzzy. Southern Expeditionary Force. We've fought with many men across the seas. And some of 'em was brave and some was not. The Pathan and the Zulu and Burmese. But the Fuzzy was the finest o' the lot. We never got a ha'porth's change of IM. E squatted in the scrub and arced our 'orses. E cut our sentries up at Suakim. And E played the cat and banjo with our forces. So airs to you fuzzy wuzzy at your 'ome in the Southern. You're a poor benighted heathen but a first-class fightin' man. We gives you your certificate and if you want it signed, well come and ave a romp with you whenever you're inclined. We took our chance among the Khyber Hills. The Boers knocked us silly at a mile. The Burman give us Irrawaddy chills. And a Zulu impy dished us up in style. But all we ever got from such as they was pop to what the Fuzzy made us swaller. We eld our bloomin' on the papers say. But man for man the Fuzzy knocked us aller. Then airs to you Fuzzy Wuzzy and the missus and the kid. Our orders was to break you and of course we went in Roman 999, we sloshed you with martinis and it wasn't hardly fair. But for all the odds agin you Fuzzy was you broke the square. He hasn't got no papers of his own. He hasn't got no medals nor rewards. So we must certify the skill he's shown in usin' of his long two-ended swords, when he's oppin' in and out among the bush, with his coffin-needed shield and shovel spear. An 'appy day with Fuzzy on the rush will last an ealthy Tommy for a year. So airs to you Fuzzy Wuzzy and your friends which are no more. If we hadn't lost some messmates we would help you to deplore. But given takes the gospel and well call the bargain fair. For if you ave lost more than us you crumpled up the square. E rushes at the smoke when we let drive. And before we know e's ackin' at our eat. E's all art sand and ginger when alive. And e's generally shammin' when e's dead. E's a daisy, e's a ducky, e's a lamb. E's a injire-rubber idiot on the spree. E's the only thing that doesn't give a damn. For a regiment o' British infantry. So airs to you Fuzzy Wuzzy at your 'ome in the Southern. You're a poor benighted heathen but a first-class fightin' man. And airs to you Fuzzy Wuzzy with your Eric Eid of air. You big black boundin' begoffer you broke a British square. Soldier, soldier. Soldier, soldier come from the war. Why don't you march with my true love? We're fresh from off the ship and ease maybe give the slip. And you'd best go look for a new love. New love, true love. Best go look for a new love. The dead they cannot rise and you'd better dry your eyes. And you'd best go look for a new love. Soldier, soldier come from the war. What did you see oh my true love? I seed I am serve the queen in a suit o' rifle green. And you'd best go look for a new love. Soldier, soldier come from the war. Did ye see no more oh my true love? I seed I am runnin' by when the shots begun to fly. But you'd best go look for a new love. Soldier, soldier come from the war. Did aught take arm to my true love? I couldn't see the fight for the smoke it lay so white. And you'd best go look for a new love. Soldier, soldier come from the war. Ill up and tend to my true love. He's lying on the dead with a bullet through his head. And you'd best go look for a new love. Soldier, soldier come from the war. Ill down and die with my true love. The pit we dug eyed I am and the 20 men beside I am. And you'd best go look for a new love. Soldier, soldier come from the war. Do you bring no sign from my true love? I bring a lock of air that Ealoos used to wear. And you'd best go look for a new love. Soldier, soldier come from the war. Oh then I know it's true I've lost my true love. And I tell you truth again when you've lost the feel o' pain. You'd best take me for your true love. True love, new love. Best take I am for a new love. The dead they cannot rise, and you'd better dry your eyes. And you'd best take I am for your true love. Screw guns. Smock in my pipe on the mountings, sniff in the morning cool. I walks in my old brown gaiters, along my old brown mule. With 70 gunners baned me, and never a beggar forgets. It's only the pick of the army that handles the dear little pets. TSS. For you all love the screwguns, they all love you. So when we call round with a few guns, oh course you will know what to do. Hoo. Just send in your chief and surrender. It's worse if you fights or you runs. You can go where you please, you can skid up the trees, but you don't get away from the guns. They sends us along where the roads are, but mostly we goes where they ain't. We'd climb up the side of a signboard and trust to the stick o' the paint. We've chivvied the naga and Lushai we've give the a free demon fits. For we fancies ourselves at 2000. We guns that are built in 2 bits. TSS. For you all love the screwguns. If a man doesn't work, why we drills I am and teaches I am how to behave. If a beggar can't march, why we kills I am and rattles I am into his grave. You've got to stand up to our business and spring without snatchin' or fuss. You say that you sweat with the field guns. By God, you must lather with us. TSS. For you all love the screwguns. The eagles is screamin' around us, the river's ammonin below. We're clear o' the pine and the oak scrub. We're out on the rocks in the snow. And the wind is as thin as a whiplash, what carries away to the plains. The rattle and stamp o' the lead mules. The jingle-to-jink o' the chains. TSS. For you all love the screwguns. There's a wheel on the horns o' the mornin', and a wheel on the edge o' the pit, and a drop into nothin' beneath you as straight as a beggar can spit. With the sweat runnin' out o' your shirt sleeves, and the sun off the snow in your face, and off o' the men on the drag ropes, to hold the old gun in her place. TSS. For you all love the screwguns. Smock in my pipe on the mountings, sniff in the morning cool. I climbs in my old brown gaiters, along my old brown mule. The monkey can say what our road was. The wild goat knows where we passed. Stand easy, you laundered old darlings. Out drag ropes with shrapnel, hold fast. TSS. For you all love the screwguns, they all love you. So when we take tea with a few guns, oh course you will know what to do. Hoo. Just send in your chief and surrender. It's worse if you fights or you runs. You may hide in the caves, they'll be only your graves. But you can't get away from the guns. Cells. I've a head like a concertina, I've a tongue like a button stick. I've a mouth like an old potato, and I am more than a little sick. But I've had my fun o' the corporal's guard, I've made the cinders fly. And I am here in the clink for a thundering drink, and blacking the corporal's eye, with a second-hand overcoat under my head, and a beautiful view of the yard. Oh, it's pactral for me, and a fortnight's Roman 100B. For drunk and resisting the guard. Mad drunk and resisting the guard. Struth, but I socked it them hard. So it's pactral for me, and a fortnight's Roman 100B. For drunk and resisting the guard. I started canteen porter, I finished canteen beer. But a dose o' gin that a mate slipped in it was that brought me here. 'Twas that and an extra double guard that rubbed my nose in the dirt. But I fell away with the corporal's stock, and the best of the corporal's shirt. I left my cap in a public house, my boots in the public road, and Lord knows where, and I don't care, my belt and my tunic goed. They'll stop my pay, they'll cut away the stripes I used to wear. But I left my mark on the corporal's face, and I think hell keep it there. My wife she cries on the barrack gate, my kid in the barrack-yard. It ain't that I mind the orderly roommates that cuts so hard. I'll take my oath before them both that I will sure abstain. But as soon as I am in with a mate and gin, I know I'll do it again. With a second-hand overcoat under my head, and a beautiful view of the yard. Yes, it's pactoral for me, and a fortnight's Roman 100b. For drunk and resisting the guard. Mad drunk and resisting the guard. Struth, but I socked it them hard. So it's pactoral for me, and a fortnight's Roman 100b. For drunk and resisting the guard. Gunga Din. You may talk o' gin and beer. When you quartered safe out air. And you sent to Penophites and Aldershot it. But when it comes to slaughter, you will do your work on water. And you'll lick the bloomin' boots of that's got it. Now in Ingea's sunny clime, where I used to spend my time, asservin of Majesty the Queen, of all them black-faced crew, the finest man I knew was our regimental bisty Gunga Din. He was din din din. You limpin' lump o' brickdust Gunga Din. High slippery hitherao. Water get it panny low. You squidgenosed old idle Gunga Din. The uniform wore was nothin' much before, and rather less than off o' that baned, for a piece o' twisty rag, and a goatskin water bag, was all the field equipment could find, when the sweatin' troop train lay, in a sidden through the day, where the eat would make your bloomin' eyebrows cry. We shouted Harry by, till our throats were brickadry. Then we whopped cause couldn't serve us all. It was din din din. You either where the mischief ave you been. You put some juldy in it. Or ill marrow you this minute. If you don't fill up my helmet Gunga Din, would dart and carry one, till the longest day was done, and didn't seem to know the use o' fear. If we charged or broke or cut, you could bet your bloomin' nut, Ed be waitin' 50 paces right flank rear. With his mussick on his back, would skip with our attack, and watch us till the bugles made retire, and for all is dirty-eyed, was white clear white inside. When went to tend the wounded under fire, it was din din din, with the bullets kickin' dust spots on the green. When the cartridges ran out, you could hear the frontfuls shout, high ammunition mules and Gunga Din. I shan't forget the night, when I dropped bane the fight, with a bullet where my belt plate should have been. I was chalkin' mad with thirst, and the man that spied me first was our good old grinnin' gruntin' Gunga Din. He lifted up my eed, and he plugged me where I bled, and he guv me 1/2 pint o' water green. It was crawlin' and it stunk, but of all the drinks I've drunk, I am gratefulest to one from Gunga Din. It was din din din. Airs a beggar with a bullet through his spleen. He's chowin' up the ground, and he's kickin' all around. For God's sake get the water Gunga Din. He carried me away, to where a dooley lay, and a bullet come and drilled the beggar clean. He put me safe inside, and just before he died, I hope you liked your drink, says Gunga Din. So ill meet I am later on, at the place where he is gone, where it's always double drill and no canteen. I'll be squattin' on the coals, givin' drink to poor damned souls, and ill get a swig in hell from Gunga Din. Yes, din din din. You Lazarussian leather Gunga Din. Though I've belted you and flayed you, by the livin' God that made you, you're a better man than I am Gunga Din. Unt. Northern India transport train. What makes the soldiers eat to penk, what makes I am to perspire? It isn't standin' up to charge nor lyin' down to fire, but it's everlastin' waitin' on a everlastin' road, for the commissariat camel and his commissariat load. Oh the unt, oh the unt, oh the commissariat unt, with his silly neck a bobbin' like a basket full o' snakes. We packs I am like an idol and you ought to ear I am grunt, and when we gets I am loaded up his blessed girth rope breaks. What makes the rearguard swear so hard when night is drawin' in, and every native follower is shiverin' for his skin? It ain't the chanced O being rushed by pathans from the ills. It's the commissariat camel puttin' on is bloomin' frills. Oh the unt, oh the unt, oh the hairy scary unt. Atropine over 10 tropes when we've got the night alarm. We sarks IM with a stretcher pole and eads IM off in front. And when we've saved his bloomin' life, he chaws our bloomin' arm. The horse he knows above a bit, the bullock's but a fool. The elephant's a gentleman, the battery mule's a mule. But the commissariat camule, when all is said and done, he's a devil and a ostrich and a orphan child in one. Oh the unt, oh the unt, oh the god-forsaken unt. The lumpyumpy bird Assingin where he lies. He's blocked the whole division from the rearguard to the front. And when we get him up, Aginth beggar goes and dies. El Golan chafe and lame and fight smells most awful El lose yourself forever if you let IM stray a mile. He's game to graze the all day long and owl the all night through. And when he comes to greasy ground, he splits herself in two. Oh the unt, oh the unt, oh the floppin' droppin' unt. When his long legs give from under and his meltin' eye is dim. The tribes is up behind us and the tribes is out in front. It ain't no jam for Tommy, but it's kites and crows for Roman 999, so when the cruel march is done and when the roads is blind. And when we sees the camp in front and ears the shots baned. Ho then we strips his saddle off and all his woes is past. He thinks on us that used IM so and gets revenge at last. Oh the unt, oh the unt, oh the floatin' bloatin' unt. The late lamented camel in the water cut he lies. We keeps a mile behind IM and we keeps a mile in front. But he gets into the drinking casks and then oh course we dies. Loot. If you've ever stole a pheasant egg behind the keeper's back. If you've ever snigged the washin' from the line. If you've ever crammed a gander in your bloomin' aversack. You will understand this little song, oh mine. But the service rules are hard and from such we are debarred. For the same with English morals does not suit. Cornet toot toot. Why they call a man a robber if he stuffs his marchin' clobber. With the chorus lulu 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 loot loot loot. Ow the loot. Bloomin' loot. That's the thing to make the boys get up and shoot. It's the same with dogs and men. If you'd make M come again. Clap M forward with a lulu lulu loot. FF whoopee tear IM puppy lulu lulu loot loot loot. If you've knocked a nigger edgeways when he's thrustin' for your life. You must leave IM very careful where he fell. And may thank your stars and gaiters if you didn't feel his knife. That you ain't told off to bury IM as well. Then the sweatin' Tommies wonder as they spade the beggars under. Why lootin' should be entered as a crime. So if my song y'all ear I will learn you plain and clear. How to pay yourself for fightin' overtime. Chorus with the loot. Now remember when you're acking round a gilded Burma guard. That his eyes is very often precious stones. And if you treat a nigger to a dose o' cleanin' rod. He's like to show you everything he owns. When he want produce no more pour some water on the floor. Where you ear it answer allo to the boot. Cornet toot toot. When the ground begins to sink shove your bayonet down the chink. And you raise sure to touch the chorus lulu lulu loot loot loot. Ow the loot. When from ooze to ooze you're hunting you must always work in pairs. It alves the gain but safer you will find. For a single man gets bottled on them twisty-wisty stairs. And a woman comes and clubs IM from behind. When you've turned 'em inside out and it seems beyond a doubt. As if there weren't enough to dust a flute. Cornet toot toot. Before you sling your ook at the ousetops take a look. For it's underneath the tiles they eyed the loot. Chorus ow the loot. You can mostly square a sergeant and a quartermaster too. If you only take the proper way to go. I could never keep my pickins, but I've learned you all I knew. And don't you never say I told you so. And now ill bid goodbye for I am gettin' rather dry. And I see another tunin' up to toot. Cornet toot toot. So airs good luck to those that wears the widow's cloes. And the devil send 'em all they want o' loot. Chorus yes the loot. Bloomin' loot. In the tunic and the mestin and the boot. It's the same with dogs and men. If you'd make M come again. FFF whoop M forward, with a lulu lulu loot loot loot. He a sick I am puppy lulu lulu loot loot loot. Snarlai ow. This append in a battle to a battery of the corps, which is first among the women and amazin' first in war. And what the bloomin' battle was I don't remember now. But to's awfulad e answered to the name o Snarlai ow. Down in the infantry nobody cares. Down in the cavalry colonel e swears. But down in the lead with the wheel at the flog, turns the bold bombardier to a little whipped dog. They was movin' into action, they was needed very sore, to learn a little schoolin' to a native army corps. They 'ad nipped against an uphill, they was tuckin' down the brow, when a tricky trundlin' round shot give the knock to Snarlai ow. They cut im loose and left him was almost tore in two, but he tried to follow after as a well-trained 'orse should do. E went and fouled the limber and the driver's brother squeals. Pull up for Snarlai ow's heads between his eels. The driver umped his shoulder for the wheels was goin' round. And there ain't no stop conductor when a battery's changin' ground. Says E I broke the beggar in and very sad I feels. But I couldn't pull up not for yow ya eed between your eels. E hadn't hardly spoke the word before a drop in shell. A little right the battery and between the sections fell. And when the smoke had cleared away before the limber wheels, there lay the driver's brother with his eed between his eels. Then says the driver's brother and his words was very plain. For God's own sake get over me and put me out o' pain. They saw his wounds was mortal and they judged that it was best. So they took and drove the limber straight across his back and chest. The driver give nothin' cept a little coughin' grunt. But swung his 'orse's ansome when it came to action front. And if one wheel was juicy you may lay your Monday head. 'Twas juicier for the niggers when the case begun to spread. The moral of this story it is plainly to be seen. You haven't got no families when servin' of the Queen. You haven't got no brothers, fathers, sisters, wives or sons. If you want to win your battles take and work your bloomin' guns. Down in the infantry nobody cares. Down in the cavalry colonel swears. But down in the lead with the wheel at the flog, turns the bold bombardier to a little whipped dog. The widow at Windsor. Ave you eared o the widow at Windsor, with a hairy gold crown on her eed. She has ships on the foam as millions at home, and she pays us poor beggars in red. Ow poor beggars in red. There's nick on the cavalry 'orses. There's mark on the medical stores. And troopers yowl find with a fair wind baned. That takes us to various wars. Poor beggars barbarous wars. Then heirs to the widow at Windsor. And heirs to the stores and the guns. The men and the 'orses what makes up the forces. Oh Mrs. Victoria's sons. Poor beggars Victoria's sons. Walk wide o the widow at Windsor. For Alf o creation she owns. We ave bought the same with the sword and the flame. And we've salted it down with our bones. Poor beggar sits blue with our bones. Hands off o the sons o the widow. Hands off o the goods in shop. For the kings must come down in the emperor's frown. When the widow at Windsor says stop. Poor beggars were sent to say stop. Then heirs to the lodge o the widow. From the pole to the tropics it runs. To the lodge that we tile with the rank and the file. And open in form with the guns. Poor beggars sits always they guns. We ave eared o the widow at Windsor. It's safest to let alone. For centuries we stand by the sea and the land. Wherever the bugles are blown. Poor beggarson don't we get blown. Take old o the wings o the mornin'. And flop round the earth till you're dead. But you won't get away from the tune that they play. To the bloomin' old rag overread. Poor beggar sits art overread. Then heirs to the sons o the widow. Wherever ever they roams. Heirs all they desire and if they require. A speedy return to their home. Poor beggar style never see 'ome. Belts. There was a row in Silver Street, that's near to Dublin Quay, between an Irish regiment and English cavalry. It started at Reveille and it lasted on till dark. The first man dropped at Harrison's, the last forninst the park. For it was belts, 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 and that's one for you. And it was belts, 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 and that's done for you. Oh, buckle and tongue, was the song that we sung. From Harrison's down to the park. There was a row in Silver Street, the regiments was out. They called us Delhi rebels and we answered threes about. That drew them like a hornet's nest, we met them good and large. The English at the double and the Irish at the charge. Then it was belts. There was a row in Silver Street and I was in it too. We passed the time o' day and then the belts went whirraroo. I misremember what occurred, but subsequent the storm. A Freeman's Journal supplement was all my uniform. Oh, it was belts. There was a row in Silver Street, they sent the police there. The English were too drunk to know the Irish didn't care. But when they grew impertinent we simultaneous rose. Till half o' them was Liffey Mud and half was Tatthird Chloe's. For it was belts. There was a row in Silver Street, it might ha' raged till now. But someone drew his sidearm clear and nobody knew how. 'Twas Hogan took the point and dropped, we saw the red blood run. And so we all was murderers that started out in fun. While it was belts. There was a row in Silver Street but that put down the shine. We'd each man whisper into his next, 'twas never work o' mine. We went away like beaten dogs and down the street we bore him. The poor dumb corpse that couldn't tell the boys were sorry for him. When it was belts. There was a row in Silver Street, it isn't over yet. For half of us are under guard wid punishments to get. 'Tis all a miracle to me as in the clink I lie. There was a row in Silver Street, begod I wonder why. But it was belts, 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 and that's one for you. And it was belts, 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 and that's done for you. Oh, buckle and tongue, was the song that we sung. From Harrison's down to the park. The young British soldier. When the off-made recruity goes out to the east. He acts like a babe and he drinks like a beast. And he wonders because he is frequent deceased. Ere he's fit for to serve as a soldier. Serve, serve, serve as a soldier. Serve, serve, serve as a soldier. Soldier of the Queen. Now all you recruities what's drafted today. You shut up your ragbucks and ark to my le. And I'll sing you a soldier as far as I may. A soldier what's fit for a soldier. Fit, fit, fit for a soldier. First mind you steer clear o' the grog sellers' huts. For they sell you fixed bayonets that rots out your guts. I drink that ud eat the live steel from your butts. And it's bad for the young British soldier. Bad, bad, bad for the soldier. When the cholera commences it will pass to doubt. Keep out of the wet and don't go on the shout. For the sickness gets in as the liquor dies out. And it crumples the young British soldier. Crumb, crumb, crumples the soldier. But the worst o' your foes is the sun overread. You must wear your helmet for all that is said. If he finds you uncovered, he'll knock you down dead. And you'll die like a fool of a soldier. Fool, fool, fool of a soldier. If you're a cast for fatigue by a sergeant unkind. Don't grouse like a woman nor crack on nor blind. Be handy and civil and then you will find that it's beer for the young British soldier. Beer, beer, beer for the soldier. Now if you must marry take care she is old. A troop sergeant's widow's the nicest I am told. For beauty want help if your rations is cold. Nor love ain't enough for a soldier. Nuff, nuff, nuff for a soldier. If the wife should go wrong with a comrade be loath to shoot when you catch him, I'll swing on my oath. Make take and keep that's hell for them both. And you shut the curse of a soldier. Curse, curse, curse of a soldier. When first under fire and you wishful to duck. Don't look nor take heed at the man that is struck. Be thankful you're livin' and trust to your luck. And march to your front like a soldier. Front, front, front like a soldier. When half of your bullets fly wide in the ditch. Don't call your martini a cross-eyed old bitch. She's human as you are, you treat her as sich. And shall fight for the young British soldier. Fight, fight, fight for the soldier. When shacking their bustles like ladies so fine. The guns o' the enemy wheel into line. Shoot low at the limbers and don't mind the shine. For noise never startles the soldier. Startles the soldier. If your officer's dead and the sergeants look white, remember it's ruin to run from a fight. So take open order, lie down and sit tight. And wait for supports like a soldier. Wait, wait, wait like a soldier. When you're wounded and left on Afghanistan's plains, and the women come out to cut up what remains, just roll to your rifle and blow out your brains. And go to your God like a soldier. Go, go, go like a soldier. Go, go, go like a soldier. Soldier of the Queen. Mandalay. By the old Moulmein pagoda looking eastward to the sea. There's a Burma girl ascertain, and I know she thinks o' me. For the wind is in the palm trees, and the Templar bells they say, come you back, you British soldier, come you back to Mandalay. Come you back to Mandalay, where the old flotilla lay. Can't you hear their paddles chunkin' from Rangoon to Mandalay? On the road to Mandalay, where the flyin' fishes play, and the dawn comes up like thunder out of China cross the bay. Petticoat was yaller and little cap was green, and name was Supiolat as the same as Thebos queen. And I seed her first a smarkin' of a whackin' white cheroot, and a wastin' Christian kisses on an heathen idol's foot. Bloomin' idol made armoured, what they called the great god bud. Plucky lot, she cared for idols when I kissed where she stood. On the road to Mandalay, when the mist was on the rice fields and the sun was droppin' slow, shed git little banjo and shed sing kalalalo, with arm upon my shoulder and cheek agin my cheek. We use at watch the steamers and the Hathis pillin' teak. Elephants a pillin' teak. In the sludgy Squajai Creek, where the silence hung that EVU was off afraid to speak. On the road to Mandalay. But that's all shove-baned melong ago and fur away. And there ain't no buses runnin' from the bank to Mandalay. And I am learnin' in London what the 10-year soldier tells. If you've eared the Easter callin' you want never eat not else. No, you want eat nothin' else. But them spicy garlic smells. And the sunshine and the palm trees and the tinkly Templar bells. On the road to Mandalay. I am sick o' wastin' leather on these gritty pavin stones. And the blasted Hinglish drizzle wakes the fever in my bones. Though I walks with 50 housemaids outer Chelsea to the Strand. And they talks a lot o' lovin', but what do they understand? Beefy face and grubby and... Law, what do they understand? I've a neater, sweeter maiden in a cleaner, greener land. On the road to Mandalay. Ship me somewheres east of Suez, where the best is like the worst. Where there aren't no 10 commandments and a man can raise a thirst. For the Templar bells are callin' and it's there that I would be. By the old Moulmein pagoda looking lazy at the sea. On the road to Mandalay. Where the old flotilla lay. With our sick beneath the awnings when we went to Mandalay. On the road to Mandalay. Where the flyin' fishes play. And the dawn comes up like thunder out of China cross the bay. Troopin'. Our army in the east. Troopin', troopin', troopin' to the sea. Ere September come again the 6-year men are free. Oh, leave the dead bained us for they cannot come away. To where the ship's acklin' up that takes us home today. We're goin' home, we're goin' homes. Our ship is at the shore. And you must pack your versac. For we won't come back no more. Ho, don't you grieve for me. My lovely Mary Aunt. For I'll marry you yet on a fourpenny bit. As a Tim-expired man. The Malabar's in arbour with the Jumner at tail. And the Tim-expired's waitin' of is orders for to sail. Ho, the weary waitin' when on Khyber Hills we. but the Tim expireds waitin' of is orders 'ome today. They'll turn us out at Portsmouth Wharf in cold and wet and rain. All wearin' in giant cotton kit, but we will not complain. They'll kill us of pneumonia for that's their little way. But damn the chills and fever men were goin' 'ome today. Troopin', winter's round again. See the new drafts pourin' in for the old campaign. Ho, you poor recruities, but you've got to earn your pay. What's the last from Lunnon lads, we're goin' there today. Troopin', give another cheer. Heirs to English women and a quart of English beer. The colonel and the regiment and all ho've got to stay. God's mercy strike Gentlewoop, we're goin' 'ome today. We're goin' 'omes. Our ship is at the shore, and you must pack your reversack, for we won't come back no more. Ho, don't you grieve for me, my lovely Mary Aunt, for I'll marry you yit on a fourpenny bit. As a Tim expired man, the widow's party, where have you been this while away? Johnny, long with the rest on a picnic lay. Johnny, my Johnny, they called us out of the barrack-yard, to God knows where from Gosport hard, and you can't refuse when you get the card. And the widow gives the party. Bugle tararararareth. What did you get to eat and drink? Johnny, standing water as thick as ink. Johnny, my Johnny, a bit o' beef that were 3 years stored. A bit o' mutton as tough as a board. And a fowl we killed with a sergeant's sword. When the widow give the party. What did you do for knives and forks? Johnny, we carries with us wherever we walks. Johnny, my Johnny, and some was sliced and some was halved, and some was crimped and some was carved, and some was gutted and some was starved. When the widow give the party. What ha' you done with half your mess? Johnny, they couldn't do more and they wouldn't do less. Johnny, my Johnny, they ate their whack and they drank their and I think the rations has made them ill. For half my company's lying still, where the widow give the party. How did you get away? Johnny, on the broad o' my back at the end o' the day. Johnny, my Johnny, I comed away like a bleedin' toff, for I got 4 niggers to carry me off, as I lay in the bite of a canvas trough. When the widow give the party. What was the end of all the show? Johnny, ask my colonel for I don't know. Johnny, my Johnny, we broke a king and we built a road. A courthouse stands where the regiment goed, and the river's clean where the raw blood flowed. When the widow give the party. Bugle tararararareth. Ford o' Kabul River. Kabul towns by Kabul River. Blow the bugle, draw the sword. There I left my mate forever. Wet and drippin' by the ford. Ford o' Kabul River. Ford o' Kabul River in the dark. There's the river up and brimmin' and there's off a squadron swimmin'. Cross the Ford o' Kabul River in the dark. Kabul town's a blasted place. Blow the bugle, draw the sword. Struth I shan't forget his face. Wet and drippin' by the ford. Ford o' Kabul River. Ford o' Kabul River in the dark. Keep the crossing stakes beside you and they will surely guide you. Cross the Ford o' Kabul River in the dark. Kabul town is sun and dust. Blow the bugle, draw the sword. Id ha sooner drowned fust. Stead of I am beside the ford. Ford o' Kabul River. Ford o' Kabul River in the dark. You can 'ear the 'orses threshin', you can 'ear the men a splashin'. Cross the Ford o' Kabul River in the dark. Kabul town was ours to take. Blow the bugle, draw the sword. Id ha left it for his sake. I am that left me by the ford. Ford o' Kabul River. Ford o' Kabul River in the dark. It's none so bloomin' dry there ain't you never comin' nigh there. Cross the ford o Kabul river in the dark. Kabul town'll go to hell. Blow the bugle, draw the sword. For I see him live and well. I am the best beside the ford. Ford, 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 o Kabul river. Ford o Kabul river in the dark. God help 'em if they blunder, for their boots'll pull 'em under. By the ford o Kabul river in the dark. Turn your horse from Kabul town. Blow the bugle, draw the sword. I am and off my troop is down. Down and drowned by the ford. Ford, 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 o Kabul river. Ford o Kabul river in the dark. There's the river low and fallin', but it ain't no use o callin'. Cross the ford o Kabul river in the dark. Gentlemen rankers. To the legion of the lost ones, to the cohort of the damned. To my brethren in their sorrow overseas. Sings a gentleman of England, cleanly bred, machinely crammed. And a trooper of the Empress, if you please. Yea, a trooper of the forces who has run his own 6 horses. And faith he went the pace and went it blind. And the world was more than kin, while he held the ready tin. But today the sergeant's something less than kind. We're poor little lambs who've lost our way. Ba ba ba. We're little black sheep who've gone astray. Barrack. Gentlemen rankers out on the spree. Damned from here to eternity. God ha' mercy on such as we. Ba ya ba. Oh, it's sweet to sweat through stables, sweet to empty kitchens' laps. And it's sweet to hear the tales the troopers tell. To dance with blowsy housemaids at the regimental hops. And thrash the cad who says you waltz too well. Yes, it makes you cock-a-hoop to be rider to your troop. And branded with a blasted worsted spur. When you envy, oh, how keenly one poor Tommy being cleanly. Who blacks your boots and sometimes calls you sir. If the home we never write to, and the oaths we never keep. And all we know most distant and most dear. Across the snoring barrack-room return to break our sleep. Can you blame us if we soak ourselves in beer? When the drunken comrade mutters, and the great guard-lantern gutters. And the horror of our fall is written plain. Every secret self-revealing on the aching whitewashed ceiling. Do you wonder that we drug ourselves from pain? We have done with hope and honor, we are lost to love and truth. We are dropping down the ladder rung by rung. And the measure of our torment is the measure of our youth. God help us, for we knew the worst too young. Our shame is clean repentance for the crime that brought the sentence. Our pride it is to know no spur of pride. And the curse of Reuben holds us till an alien turf enfolds us. And we die and none can tell them where we died. We're poor little lambs who've lost our way. Ba ba ba. We're little black sheep who've gone astray. Barrack. Gentlemen rankers out on the spree. Damned from here to eternity. God ha' mercy on such as we. Ba ya ba. Route marchin'. We're marchin' on relief over India's sunny plains. A little front o' Christmas time and just bane the rains. Ho, get away you bullockmen, you've eared the bugle blowed. There's a regiment a-comin' down the Grand Trunk Road. With its best foot first. And the road a-sliding past. And every bloomin' camping ground exactly like the last. While the big drum says, with is rowda-do-da-do. Kiko kissiworsti, don't you Hampshire argy jow. Oh, there's them in giant temples to admire when you see. There's the peacock round the corner and the monkey up the tree. And there's that rummy silver grass a-wavin' in the wind. And the old Grand Trunk a-trailin' like a riflesling baned. While it's best foot first. At 5:30's reveille in our tents they down must come. Like a lot of button mushrooms when you pick 'em up at home. But it's over in a minute and at 6 the column starts. While the women and the kiddies sit and shiver in the carts. And it's best foot first. Oh, then it's open order and we lights our pipes and sings. And we talks about our rations and a lot of other things. And we thinks oh friends in England, and we wonders what they're at. And 'ow they would admire for to hear us sling the bat. And it's best foot first. It's none so bad oh Sunday when you're a-lyin' at your ease. to watch the kites a-wheelin' round them feather-reeded trees. For although there ain't no women, yet there ain't no barrackyards. So the officers goes shootin' and the men they plays at cards, till it's best foot first. So I can eat you rookies which is always grumblin' sore. There's worser things than marchin' from Umballa to Cawnpore. And if your eels are blistered and they feels to 'urt like hell, you drop some tallow in your socks and that will make 'em well. For it's best foot first. We're marchin' on relief over in Gia's coral strand. 800 fightin' Englishmen, the colonel and the band. Ho, get away you bullockmen, you've eared the bugle blowed. There's a regiment a-comin' down the Grand Trunk Road, with its best foot first, and the road a-sliding past, and every bloomin' camping ground exactly like the last, while the big drum says, with is rowdido-dido, Kiko Kissiworsty, don't you Hampshire Argy Jow. Shillin' a day. My name is O'Kelly, I've heard the reveille. From Burr to Bareilly, from Leeds to Lahore, Hong Kong and Peshawar, Lucknow and Etawah, and 55 more all in Din in Por. Black Death and his quickness, the depth and the thickness of sorrow and sickness I've known on my way. But I am old and I am nervous. I am cast from the service, and all I deserve is a shillin' a day. Chorus, shillin' a day. Bloomin' good pay. Lucky to touch it, a shillin' a day. Oh, it drives me half crazy to think of the days I went slap for the Ghazi, my sword at my side, when we rode hell for leather, both squadrons together. That didn't care whether we lived or we died. But it's no use despairin', my wife must go charrin', and me commissarin' the payables to better. So if me you bailed, in the wet and the cold, by the grand metropole, won't you give me a letter? Full chorus, give I am a letter. Can't do no better. Late Troop Sergeant Major Anrons with a letter. Think what he's been. Think what he's seen. Think of his pension and God Save the Queen. Second Series, 1896. Barbs. There's a little red-faced man, which is Barbs, rides the tallest horse he can. Our Barbs, if it bucks or kicks or rears, he can sit for 20 years, with a smile round both his ears. Can't your Barbs? Then heirs to Barb's Bahadur. Little Barbs, Barbs. Ease our pucker candidator. Fightin' Barbs. Ease the Duke of Aggychell. Ease the man that done us well, and well follow him to L. Want we Barbs? If a limber's slipped a trace, ook on Barbs. If a marker's lost his place, dress by Barbs. For ease eyes all up his coat, and a bugle in his throat, and you will not play the goat. Under Barbs, ease a little down on drink. Chaplain Barbs, but it keeps us outer clink. Don't it, Barbs? So we will not complain, though ease water on the brain, if he leads us straight again. Blue light Barbs, if you stood I am on his head. Father Barbs, you could spill a quart o' lead. Outer Barbs, he's been at it 30 years, and Amazon souvenirs, in the way o' slugs and spears. Ain't your Barbs? What he does not know o' war. General Barbs, you can arse the shop next door. Can't they, Barbs? Oh, he's little but he's wise. He's a terror for his size. Ain't o' snot advertise. Do your Barbs? Now they've made a bloomin' lord. Outer Barbs, which was but his fair reward. Weren't it, Barbs? So El wear a coronet, where his helmet used to set. But we know you won't forget. Will your Barbs? Then heirs to Barb's Bahadur. Little Barbs. Pocket Wellington and Ardour. Fightin' barbs, barbs, barbs. This ain't no bloomin' ode, but you've 'elped the soldiers load, and for benefits bestowed. Bless your barbs. Back to the army agains. I am air in a ticky ulster and a broken billycock at. Elayin' on to the sergeant, I don't know a gun from a bat. My shirt's doin' duty for jacket, my socks stickin' out o' my boots. And I am learnin' the damned old goose step along o' the new recruits. Back to the army again, sergeant. Back to the army agains. Don't look so 'ard, for I 'aven't no card. I am back to the army agains. I done my 6-year service, Majesty, says good. Y'all please to come when you're a rung for an airs your old back pay. And 4pence a day for baccy and bloomin' generous too. And now you can make your fortuneth, same as your officers do. Back to the army again, sergeant. Back to the army agains. 'Ow did I learn to do right about turn? I am back to the army agains. A man o' 24 that 'asn't learned of a trade. Beside reserve agin him'd better be never made. I tried my luck for a quarter and that was enough for me. And I thought of Majesty's barracks and I thought I'd go and see. Back to the army again, sergeant. Back to the army agains. 'Tisn't my fault if I dress when I olt. I am back to the army agains. The sergeant asked no questions, but he winked the other eye. He says to me shun, and I shunted the same as in days gone by. For he saw the set o' my shoulders and I couldn't help holdin' straight. When me and the other rookies come under the barrack gate. Back to the army again, sergeant. Back to the army agains. Who would ha' thought I could carry import? I am back to the army agains. I took my bath and I waller it for God, I needed it so. I smelt the smell o' the barracks, I eared the bugles go. I eared the feet on the gravelled feet, o' the men what drill. And I says to my flutterin' earstrings, I says to peace be still. Back to the army again, sergeant. Back to the army agains. Who said I knew when the jumner was due? I am back to the army agains. I carried my slops to the tailor, I says to I am none o' your lip. You tight over the shoulders and loose over the IP. For the set o' the tunic's orrid and he says to me strike me dead. But I thought you was used to the business and so he done what I said. Back to the army again, sergeant. Back to the army agains. Rather too free with my fancies what me. I am back to the army agains. Next week I'll have fitted ill by me a swagger cane. They'll let me free o' the barracks to walk on the hoe again. In the name o' William Parsons that used to be Edward Clay. And any poor beggar that wants it can draw my 4pence a day. Back to the army again, sergeant. Back to the army agains. Out o' the cold and the rain, sergeant. Out o' the cold and the rain. Who's there? A man that's too good to be lost, you. A man that is handled and made. A man that will pay what he cost you. In learnin' the others their trade parad. You're a drop in the pick o' the army. Because you don't help remain. But drives to cheat to get out o' the street. And back to the army again. Birds of prey march. March the mud is cackin' good about our trousies. Front eyes front and watch the colour cassins drip. Front the faces of the women in the oozes. Ain't the kind o' things to take aboard the ship. Cheerin' well never march to victory. Cheerin' well never live to hear the cannon roar. The large birds o' prey. They will carry us away. And y'all never see your soldiers any more. We'll keep your touch, we're goin' round a corner. Time mark time and let the men bind us close. Lord the transports full and alf our lot not on Cheer oh cheer, we're going off where no one knows. March the devils none so black as he is painted. Cheer well ave some fun before we're put away. Alten and out woman's gone and fainted. Cheer get on, God help the married men today. Hoy come up you ungry beggars to your sorrow. Hear them say they want their tea and want it quick. You won't have no mind for slingers not tomorrow. No y'all put the tween-deck stove out bane sick. Alt the married kit as all to go before us. Course it's blocked the bloomin' gangway up again. Cheer, oh cheer, the 'orse guards watchin' tender o'er us. Keepin' us since 8 this mornin' in the rain. Stuck in Evie marchin' order, sopped and ringin'. Sick before our time to watch even fall. Airs your 'appy 'ome at last and stop your singin'. Alt fall in along the troop deck silence all. Cheer, for well never live to see no bloomin' victory. Cheer, and well never live to 'ear the cannon roar one cheer more. The jackal and the kite. Ave an ealthy appetite. And y'all never see your soldiers any more ip error. The eagle and the crow. They are waitin' ever so. And y'all never see your soldiers any more ip error. Yes, the large birds o' prey. They will carry us away. And y'all never see your soldiers any more. Soldier and sailor too. As I was spittin' into the ditch aboard o' the crocodile, I seed a man on a man-o' got up in the reglar style. E was scrappin' the paint from off of plates. And I says to I am, 'Oo are you? Says E, I am a jollier majesty's, jolly soldier and sailor too. Now 'is work begins by God knows when, and 'is work is never through. E isn't one o' the reglar line, nor E isn't one of the crew. E's a kind of a giddy harum-frodite soldier and sailor too. And after I met I am all over the world, a-doing all kinds of things. Like landin' self with a Gatlin gun to talk to them heathen kings. E sleeps in an hammock instead of a cot. And E drills with the deck on a slough. And E sweats like a jollier majesty's jolly soldier and sailor too. For there isn't a job on the top o' the earth the beggar don't know nor do. You can leave I am at night on a bald man's ead to paddle his own canoe. E's a sort of a bloomin' cosmopolite soldier and sailor too. We've fought in trooper, we've fought in dark. And drunk with in betweens. When they called us the seasick scullermaids. And we called the ass marines. But when we was down for a double fatigue from Woolwich to Bernard Meo, we sent for the jollies majesties, jolly soldier and sailor too. They think for themselves and they steal for themselves. And they never ask what's to do. But they're camped and fed and they're up and fed before our bugles blew. Ho, they ain't no limpin' procrastitude soldier and sailor too. You may say we are fond of an arnice cut or ootin' in barrack yards. Or startin' a board school mutiny along the onion guards. But once in a while we can finish in style for the ends of the earth to view. The same as the jollies majesties, jolly soldier and sailor too. They come of our lot, they was brothers to us. They was beggars wed, met and new. Yes, barrin' an inch in the chest and the arm, they was doubles o' me and you. For they weren't no special chrysanthemum soldier and sailor too. To take your chance in the thick of a rush with firing all about. Is nothing so bad when you've cover to, and an leave and lickin' to shout. But to stand and be still to the Birkenhead drill is a damn tough bullet to chew. And they done it, the jollies majesties jollies. Soldier and sailor too. Their work was done when it hadn't begun, they was younger nor me and you. Their choice it was plain between drownin' in eeps and bane mopped by the screw. So they stood and was still to the Birkenhead drill, soldier and sailor too. Where most of us liars were half of us thieves. And the rest are as rank as can be. But once in a while we can finish in style. Which I hope it won't append to me. But it makes you think better o' you and your friends. And the work you may ave to do. When you think the sinkin' Victorias, jolly soldier and sailor too. Now there isn't no room for to say you don't know. They ave proved it plain and true. That whether it's widow or whether it's ship Victoria's work is to do. And they done it, the jollies majesties jollies. Soldier and sailor too. Sappers. When the waters were dried and the earth did appear. It's all one, says the sapper. The Lord he created the engineer. Her Majesty's royal engineer. With the rank and pay of a sapper. When the flood come along for an extra monsoon. 'Twas Noah constructed the first pontoon. To the plans of Her Majesty's etc. But after fatigue in the wet and the sun. Old Noah got drunk, which he wouldn't ha' done if he'd trained with etc. When the Tower o' Babel had mixed up men's bat, some clever civilian was managing that, and none of etc. When the Jews had a fight at the foot of a hill, young Joshua ordered the sun to stand still, for he was a captain of engineers etc. When the children of Israel made bricks without straw, they were learning the regular work of our corps, the work of etc. For ever since then, if a war they would weigh, behold us ashenin on history's page, first page for etc. We lay down their sidings and help 'em in train, and we sweep up their mess through the bloomin' campaign, in the style of etc. They send us in front with a fuse and a mine, to blow up the gates that are rushed by the line, but bent by etc. They send us behind with a pick and a spade, to dig for the guns of a bullock brigade, which has asked for etc. We work under escort in trousers and shirt, and the heathen they plug us tail up in the dirt, annoying etc. We blast out the rock and we shovel the mud, we make good roads anthe roll down the cud, reporting etc. We make their bridges, their wells and their huts, and the telegraph where the enemy cuts, and it's blamed on etc. And when we return and from war we would cease, they grudge us adorning the billets of peace, which are kept for etc. We build nice barracks, they swear they are bad, that our colonels are Methodist, married or mad, insulting etc. They haven't no manners nor gratitude too, for the more that we help the less will they do, but mark at etc. Now the line's but a man with a gun in his hand, and cavalry's only what horses can stand, when helped by etc. Artillery moves by the leave o' the ground, but we are the men that do something all round, for we are etc. I have stated it plain in my arguments thus. It's all one, says the sapper. There's only one corps which is perfect, that's us, and they call us Her Majesty's Engineers, Her Majesty's Royal Engineers, with the rank and pay of a sapper. That day, it got beyond all orders and it got beyond all hope. It got to shamin' wounded and retirin' from the alt. All companies was looking for the nearest road to slope. It were just a bloomin' knockout and our fault. Now there ain't no chorus air to give, nor there ain't no band to play. And I wish I was dead 'fore I done what I did, or seen what I seed that day. We was sick o' bane punished and we let 'em know it too. And a company commander up in it us with a sword, and someone shouted ook it and it come to Sovkipu, and we chucked our rifles from us, oh my God. There was 30 dead and wounded on the ground we wouldn't keep. No, there wasn't more than 20 when the front begun to go. But Christ, along the line o' flight they cut us up like sheep, and that was all we gained by doing so. I eared the knives baned me, but I dursn't face my man, nor I don't know where I went to cause I didn't ought to see, till I eared a beggar squealing out for quarter as he ran, and I thought I knew the voice an it was me. We was hidden under bedsteads more than half a march away. We was lying up like rabbits all about the countryside, and the Major cursed is maker cause he lived to see that day, and the Colonel broke his sword across and cried. We was rotten for we started, we was never disciplined. We made it out of favour if an order was obeyed. Yes, every little drummer ad is rights and wrongs to mind. So we had to pay for teachin' and we paid. The papers id it handsome, but you know the army knows. We was put to grooming camels till the regiments withdrew, and they gave us each a medal for subduing England's foes. And I hope you like my song because it's true. And there ain't no chorus air to give, nor there ain't no band to play. But I wish I was dead 'fore I done what I did, or seen what I seed that day. The men that fought at Minden, a song of instruction. The men that fought at Minden, they was rookies in their time. So was them that fought at Waterloo. All the old command yus from Minden to Maywend. They was once damn sweeps like you. Then do not be discouraged, even is your helper. Well learn you not to forget. And you mustn't swear and curse or yowl, only catch it worse. For well make you soldiers yet. The men that fought at Minden, they had stocks beneath their chins, 6-inch ig and more. But fatigue it was their pride, and they would not be denied to clean the cuckoo's floor. The men that fought at Minden, they had anarchistic bombs, served to by name of hand grenades. But they got it in the eye, same as you will buy and be, when they clubbed their field parades. The men that fought at Minden, they had buttons up and down, 22 dozen of told. But they didn't grouse and shirk at an hour's extra work. They kept bright as gold. The men that fought at Minden, they was armed with musketoons. Also they was drilled by halberdiers. I don't know what they were, but the sergeants took good care. They washed baned their ears. The men that fought at Minden, they had ever cash in and, which they did not bank nor save, but spent it gay and free on their better such as me. For the good advice I gave. The men that fought at Minden, they was civilious, they was. Never didn't talk o' rights and wrongs. But they got it with the toe, same as you will get its. For interrupting songs. The men that fought at Minden, they was several other things, which I don't remember clear. But that's the reason why now the 6-year men are dry. The rooks will stand the beer. Then do not be discouraged, even is your helper. Well learn you not to forget. And you mustn't swear and curse or yowl, only catch it worse. For well make you soldiers yet. Soldiers yet if you've got it in you. All for the sake of the corps. Soldiers yet if we ave to skin you. Run and get the beer, Johnny raw. Ho, run and get the beer, Johnny raw. Cholera camp. We've got the cholera in camp, it's worse than 40 fights. We're dying in the wilderness, the same as Israelites. It's before us and baned us and we cannot get away. And the doctors just reported we've 10 more today. Oh, strike your camp and go, the bugles callin'. The rains are fallin'. The dead are bushed and stoned to keep safe below. The band's a doin' all she knows to cheer us. The chaplain's gone and prayed to God to ear us. To ear us. Oh Lord, for it's a killin' of us so. Since August when it started it's been stickin' to our tail. Though they've 'ad us out by marches and they've 'ad us back by rail. But it runs as fast as troop trains, and we cannot get away. And the sick list to the colonel makes 10 more today. There ain't no fun in women, nor there ain't no bite to drink. It's much too wet for shootin', we can only march and think. And at evenin' down the nullahs we can 'ear the jackals say, "Get up you rotten beggars, you've 10 more today." 'Twould make a monkey cough to see our way o' doin' things. Lieutenants talkin' companies and captains talkin' wings. And lances actin' sergeantsate file to obey. For we've lots o' quick promotion on 10 deaths a day. Our colonel's white and Twitterlie gets no sleep nor food. But mucks about in orspital where nothing does no good. He sends us heaps o' comforts all bought from his pay. But there aren't much comfort Andy on 10 deaths a day. Our chaplain's got a banjo and a skinny mule he rides. And the stuff he says and sings us, Lord, it makes us split our sides. With his black coat-tails a bobbin to Tarara Boomderay. He's the proper kind o' padre for 10 deaths a day. And Father Victor helps with our Roman Catholics. He knows an heap of Irish songs and rummy conjurin' tricks. And the two they works together when it comes to play or pray. So we keep the ball a-rollin' on 10 deaths a day. We've got the cholera in camp, we've got it hot and sweet. It ain't no Christmas dinner, but it's helped and we must eat. We've gone beyond the funkin' cause, we've found it doesn't pay. And we're rockin' round the district on 10 deaths a day. Then strike your camp and go, the rains are fallin'. The bugles callin'. The dead are bushed and stoned to keep safe below. And them that do not like it they can lump it. And them that cannot stand it they can jump it. We've got to die somewhere some way somehow. We might as well begin to do it now. Then number 1, let down the tent pole slow. Knock out the pegs and old the corner so. Fold in the flies, furl up the ropes and stow. Oh strike your camp and go. God help us. The ladies. I've taken my fun where I've found it. I've rogued and I've ranged in my time. I've 'ad my pickin' o' sweethearts. And the lot was prime. One was an half-caste widow. One was a woman at prom. One was the wife of a jemadar size. And one is a girl at home. Now I aren't no and with the ladies. For talkin' all along. You never can say till you've tried and then you are like to be wrong. There's times when y'all think that you mightn't. There's times when y'all know that you might. But the things you will learn from the yellow and brown, they'll help you a lot with the white. I was a young un at Oogly. Shy as a girl to begin. Aggie de Castra she made me. And Aggie was clever as sin. Older than me but my first un. More like a mother she were. Showed me the way to promotion and pay. And I learned about women from Earth. Then I was ordered to Burma. Actin' in charge o' bazaar. And I got me a tiddy live Ethan. Through buyin' supplies off pa. Funny and yellow and faithful. Doll in a teacup she were. But we lived on the square like a true married pair. And I learned about women from Earth. Then we was shifted to Nemuch. Or I might ha' been keepin' now. And I took with a shiny shedevil. The wife of a nigger at Howe. Taught me the gypsy folks bowly. Kind o' volcano she were. For she knifed me one night cause I wished she was white. And I learned about women from Earth. Then I come 'ome in the trooper. Long of a kid o' 16. Girl from a convent at Meerut. The straightest I ever ave seen. Love at first sight was trouble. She didn't know what it were. And I wouldn't do such cause I liked too much. But I learned about women from I've taken my fun where I've found it. And now I must pay for my fun. For the more you ave known o' the others, the less will you settle to one. And the end of it's sittin' and thinkin'. And dreamin' hellfires to see. So be warned by my lot which I know you will not. And learn about women from me. What did the Colonel's lady think? Nobody never knew. Somebody asked the sergeant's wife. And she told true. When you get to a man in the case, they're like as a row of pins. For the Colonel's lady and Judy O'Grady are sisters under their skins. Bill Hawkins. Has anybody seen Bill Hawkins? Now how in the devil would I know? He's taken my girl out walkin'. And I've got to tell so. God bless him. I've got to tell so. Dyer know what he's like Bill Hawkins. Now what in the devil would I care? He's the livin' breathin' image of an organ grinder's monkey. With a pound of grease in his air. God bless him. And a pound o' grease in his air. And s'pose you met Bill Hawkins. Now what in the devil 'ud ye do? He'd open his cheek to his chinstrap buckle. And bung up his both eyes too. God bless him. And bung up his both eyes too. Look where he comes Bill Hawkins. Now what in the devil will you say? It isn't fit and proper to be fightin' on a Sunday. So ill pass the time o' day. God bless him. Ill pass the time o' day. The Mother Lodge. There was Rundle Station Master. And Beazelly of the Rail. And Ackman Commissariat. And Donkin o' the jails. And Blake Conductor Sergeant. Our master twice was with that kept the Europe shop. Old Framji Edelji. Outside Sergeant Sir Salute Salam. Inside brother and it doesn't do no harm. We met upon the level and we parted on the square. and I was junior deacon in my mother lodge out there. Wed Bolus Nath accountant, and Saul the Aden Jew, and Din Mohammed draftsman, of the survey office too. There was Babu Chakrabarti, and Amir Singh the Sikh, and Castro from the Fitin Sheds, the Roman Catholic. We hadn't good regalia, and our lodge was old and bare, but we knew the ancient landmarks, and we kept to a hair, and looking on it backwards, it often strikes me thus: there ain't such things as infidels, except perhaps it's us. For monthly after labour, we'd all sit down and smoke. We durstn't give no banquets, lest a brother's caste were broke, and man on man got talking, religion and the rest, and every man comparing, of the God he knew the best. So man on man got talking, and not a brother stirred, till morning wake the parrots, and that damn brain fever bird. We'd say 'twas igly curious, and we'd all ride home to bed, with moamed guard and Shiva, changin pickets in our Eid, full oft on government service. This rovin foot ath pressed, and bore fraternal greetings to the lodges east and west, according as commanded, from Kohat to Singapore. But I wish that I might see them in my mother lodge once more. I wish that I might see them, my brethren black and brown, with the trichies smellin' pleasant, and the hogdarn passin' down, and the old consammer snoring on the battle khana floor, like a master in good standing, with my mother lodge once more. Outside sergeant so salute salam, inside brother and it doesn't do no harm. We met upon the level and we parted on the square, and I was junior deacon in my mother lodge out there. Follow me ohmed. There was no one like I am horse or foot, nor any o' the guns I knew. And because it was so, why o' course he went and died, which is just what the best men do. So it's knock out your pipes and follow me, and it's finish up your swipes and follow me. O ark to the big drum callin', follow me ohmed. Is mare she neighs the all day long, she paws the all night through, and she won't take feed cause o waitin' for his step, which is just what a beast would do. Is girl she goes with a bombardier, before month is through, and the bands are up in church, for she's got the beggar hooked, which is just what a girl would do. We fought bout a dog last week it were, no more than a round or two, but I struck I am cruel hard and I wish I hadn't now, which is just what a man can't do. E was all that I 'ad in the way of a friend, and I've 'ad to find one new, but I'd give my pay and stripe for to get the beggar back, which it's just too late to do. So it's knock out your pipes and follow me, and it's finish off your swipes and follow me. O ark to the fifes a crawlin', follow me ohmed. Take I am away, ease gone where the best men go. Take I am away and the gun wheels turnin' slow. Take I am away, there's more from the place e come. Take I am away with the limber and the for it's 3 rounds blank and follow me, and it's 13 rank and follow me. O passin' the love o women, follow me ohmed. The sergeant's wedding, e was warned agin earth. That's what made I am look. She was warned agin I am. That is why she took. Wouldn't ear no reason. Went and done it blind. We know all about Ems. They've got all to find. Cheer for the sergeant's wedding. Give one cheer more. Grey gun horses in the land, oh. And a rogue is married to etc. What's the use o' tellin'? Arf the lot she's been. E's a bloomin' robber. And e keeps canteen. How did he get his buggy? God, you needn't ask. Made is 40 gallon. Out of every cask. Watch I am with his air cut. Count us fillin' by. Want the colonel praise is. Popularity. We have scores to settle. Scores for more than beer. She's the girl to pay M. That is why we're heir. See the chaplain thinkin'. See the women smile. Twig the married winkin'. As they take the aisle. Keep your sidearms quiet. Dress in by the band. Ho you arly beggars. Cough baned your end. Now it's done and over. Ear the organ squeak. Voice that breathed o'er Eden. Ain't she got the cheek? White and laylock ribbons. Think yourself so fine. I'd pray God to take ya. For I made your mind. Escort to the carriage. Wish I am luck the brute. Chuck the slippers after. Pity tain't a boot. Bowin' like a lady. Blushin' like a lad. Oo would say to see M. Both is rotten bad. Cheer for the sergeant's weddin'. Give M one cheer more. Grey gun horses in the land, oh. And a rogue is married to etc. The jacket. Through the plagues of Egypt we was chassin' Arabi. Gettin' down and shovin' in the sun. And you might have called us dirty, and you might ha called us dry. And you might have eared us talkin' at the gun. But the captain 'ad his jacket, and the jacket it was new. 'Orse gunners listen to my song. And the wettin' of the jacket is the proper thing to do. Nor we didn't keep I am waitin' very long. One day they gave us orders for to shell a sand redoubt. Loadin' down the axlearms with case. But the captain knew his duty and he took the crackers out. And he put some proper liquor in its place. And the captain saw the shrapnel which is 36 clear. 'Orse gunners listen to my song. Will you draw the weight, says he, or will you draw the beer? And we didn't keep I am waitin' very long. For the captain etc. Then we trotted gentle not to break the bloomin' glass. Though the Arabites 'ad all their ranges marked. But we dursn't hardly gallop for the most was bottled bass. And we'd dreamed of it since we was disembarked. So we fired economic with the shells we 'ad in and 'orse gunners listened to my song. But the beggars under cover 'ad the impidence to stand. And we couldn't keep M waitin' very long. And the captain etc. So we finished off the liquor and the captain took champagne. And the Arabites was shootin' all the while. And we left our wounded appy with the empties on the play. And we used the bloomin' guns for projectile. We limbered up and galloped there were nothing else to do. 'Orse gunners listened to my song. And the battery came a-boundin' like a boundin' kangaroo. But they didn't watch us comin' very long. As the captain etc. We was goin' most extended we was driven very fine. And the Arabites were loosin' ig and wide. Till the captain took the glassy with a rattlin' right incline. And we dropped upon their eads the other side. Then we give 'em quarter such as 'adn't up and cut. 'Orse gunners listened to my song. And the captain stood a limberful of fizz-a-somethin' brut. But we didn't leave it fizzing very long. For the captain etc. We might ha' been court-martialed, but it all come out all right. When they signalled us to join the main command. There was every round expended, there was every gunner tight. And the captain waved a corkscrew in his end. But the captain 'ad his jacket etc. The heathen in his blindness bows down to wood and stone. He don't obey no orders unless they is his own. He keeps his sidearms awful, he leaves 'em all about. And then comes up the regiment and pokes the heathen out. All along o' dirtiness, all along o' mess. All along o' doin' things rathamorialous. All along of Abinay Cullen Hazarho. Mind you keep your rifle and yourself just so. The young recruit is I drafts from God knows where. They bid I am show is stockings and lay is mattress square. He calls it bloomin' nonsensey, doesn't know no more. and then up comes his company and kicks round the floor. The young recruit is Amored, takes it very odd. He angs his eed and mutter, sulks about the yard. He talks o cruel tyrants, else swing for by and be. And the other's ears and mocks and the boy goes off to cry. The young recruit is silly, thinks o suicide. He's lost his gutter devil, he hasn't got his pride. But day by day they kicks which helps on a bit. Till he finds hisself one mornin' with a full and proper kit. Gettin' clear o dirtiness, gettin' done with mess. Gettin' shut o doin' things rather morialous. Not so fond of abine cull nor hazarho. Learns to keep his rifle and hisself juice so. The young recruit is at pie, throws a chest to suit. You see grow mustaches, you hear slap his boot. He learns to drop the bloodies from every word he slings. And he shows an ealthy brisket when he strips for bars and rings. The cruel tyrants they watch off a year. They watch with his comrades, they watch with his beer. They watch with the women at the regimental dance. And the cruel tyrants send his name along for Lance. And now he's off nothing and all a private yet. His room they up and rags to see what they will get. They rags low and cunnin' each dirty trick they can. But he learns to sweat his temper and he learns to sweat his man. And last a colour sergeant as such to be obeyed. He schools his men at cricket, he tells on parade. They sees quick and Andy uncommon set and smart. And so he talks to officers which ave the corps at eart. He learns to do his watchin' without it showin' plain. He learns to save a dummy and shove straight again. He learns to check a ranker that's buying leave to shirk. And he learns to make men like so they'll learn to like their work. And when it comes to marchin' hell see their socks are right. And when it comes to action, he shows out of sight. He knows their ways of thinkin' and just what's in their mind. He knows when they are talkin' on and when they've fell baned. He knows each talkin' corporal that leads a squad astray. He feels his innards even his bowels jiven way. He sees the blue-white faces all tryin' hard to grin. And he stands and waits and suffers till it's time to cap in. And now the hugly bullets come peckin' through the dust. And no one wants to face but every beggar must. So like a man in irons which isn't glad to go, they moves off by companies uncommon stiff and slow. Of all his 5 years schoolin', they don't remember much. Except the not retreatin' the step and keep in touch. It looks like teachin' wasted when they duck and spread an op. But if he hadn't learned they'd be all about the shop. And now it's who goes backward, and now it's who comes on. And now it's get the doolies and now the captain's gone. And now it's bloody murder, but all the while they hear his voice the same as barrack drill ashiford in the rear. He's just as sick as they are, his eart is like to split. But he works till he feels take the bit. The rest is old and steady till the watchful bugles play. And he lifts through the charge that wins the day. The heathen in his blindness bows down to wood and stone. He don't obey no orders unless they is his own. The heathen in his blindness must end where he began. But the backbone of the army is the non-commissioned man. Keep away from dirtiness, keep away from mess. Don't get into doin' things rather morialous. Let's ha' done with abine cull and hazarho. Mind you keep your rifle and yourself just so. The shut-eye sentry, says the junior orderly sergeant. To the senior orderly man, our orderly officers hoke him at. You help all you can. For the wine was old and the night is cold. And the best we may go wrong. So 'fore gets to the sentry box, you pass the word along. So it was rounds what rounds at 2 of a frosty night. Ease olden on by the sergeant's sash, but sentry shut your eye. And it was pass all's well ain't drippin' tight. I'll need an affidavit pretty badly by. The moon was white on the barracks. The road was white and wide. And the orderly officer took it all. And the 10-foot ditch beside. And the corporal pulled and the sergeant pushed. and the three they danced along, but I'd shut my eyes in the sentry box, so I didn't see nothin' wrong, though it was rounds what rounds corporal old I am up. He's usin' his cap as it shouldn't be used, but sentry shut your eye. And it was pass all's well ho shun the foamin' cup. El need etc. 'Twas after 4 in the mornin'. We 'ad to stop the fun, and we sent I am 'ome on a bullock cart, with his belt and stock undone. But we sluiced I am down and we washed I am out, and a first-class job we made, when we saved I am smart as a bombardier. For 6 o'clock parade, it had been rounds what rounds shove I am straight again. He's usin' his sword for a bicycle, but sentry shut your eye. And it was pass all's well he's called me darlin' Jane. El need etc. The drill was long and heavy. The sky was hot and blue, and his eye was wild and his air was wet. But his sergeant pulled I am through. Our men was good old trusties. They'd done it on their Eid. But you ought to ave eared mark in time, to hide the things he said. For it was right flankwheel for alt and stand at ease, and left extend for centre close, marker shut your eye. And it was sir before the colonel sees. So he needed affidavits pretty badly by There was 32 sergeants. There was corporals 41. There was just 900 rank and file. To swear to a touch son. There was me Ed kissed in the sentry box, as I ave not told in my song, but I took my oath which were Bible truths. I hadn't seen nothin' wrong. There's them that's art and naughty. There's them that's cold and hard. But there comes a night when the best gets tight, and then turns out the guard. I've seen them hide their liquor, in every kind o' way. But most depends on mackin' friends, with Privet Thomas A. When it is rounds what rounds he's breathin' through his nose. He's reelin' rollin' roarin' tight, but sentry shut your eye. And it is pass all's well and that's the way it goes. Well help I him for his mother and help us by and be. Merry pity women. You call yourself a man, for all you used to swear, and leave me as you can. My certain shame to bear. I hear you do not care. You done the worst you know. I ate you grinnin' there. Ah God, I love you so. Nice while it lasted and now it is over. Tear out your eart and goodbye to your lover. What's the use grievin' when the mother that bore you? Merry pity women knew it all before you. It aren't no false alarm. The finish to your fun. Yow you ave brung the arms, and I am the ruined one. And now yow'll off and run, with some new fool in tow. Your eart you haven't none. Ah God, I love you so. When a man is tired there is naught will bind I am. All solemn promised will shove baned Roman 999, what's the good prayin' for the wrath to strike I am. Merry pity women when the rest are like I am. What hope for me or it? What's left for us to do? I've walked with men a bit, but this is you. So help me Christ it's true. Where can I hide or go? You coward through and through. Ah God, I love you so. All the more you give the less are they forgiven. Love lies dead and you cannot kiss I am livin'. Down the road led you there is no returnin'. Merry pity women but you're late in learnin'. You'd like to treat me fair. You can't because we're poor. We'd starve, what do I care? We might but this is sure. I want the name no more. The name and lines to show. And not to be an or. Ah God, I love you so. What's the good pleadin' when the mother that bore you? Merry pity women knew it all before you. Sleep on his promises and wake to your sorrow. Merry pity women for we sail tomorrow. For to admire. The Aegean ocean sets and smiles. So soft, so bright, so bloomin' blue. There aren't a wave for miles and miles, except the jiggle from the screw. The ship is swept, the day is done, the bugle's gone for smoke and play, and black again the settin' sun. The lascar sings humdecty high, for to admire and for to see, for to be'old this world so wide. It never done no good to me, but I can't drop it if I tried. I see the sergeants pitchin' quoits, I 'ear the women laugh and talk, I spy upon the quarterdeck the officers and liddies walk. I thinks about the things that was, and leans and looks across the sea, till spite of all the crowded ship, there's no one left alive but me. The things that was which I ave seen, in barrack camp and action too, I tells them over by myself, and sometimes wonders if they're true, for they was most awful odd, but all the same now they are o'er. There must be heaps plenty such, and if I wait I'll see some more. I ave come upon the books, and frequent broke a barrack rule, and stood beside and watched myself, beavin' like a bloomin' fool. I paid my price for findin' out, nor never grutched the price I paid, but sat in clink without my boots, admirin' 'ow the world was made. Bailed a crowd upon the beam, and umped above the sea appears, old Aden like a barrack stove, that no one's lit for years and years. I passed by that when I began, and I go 'ome the road I came, a tim-expired soldierman, with 6 years' service to his name. My girl, she said, "Oh, stay with me." My mother held me to her breast. They've never written none, and so they must ave gone with all the rest which I ave seen, and found and known and met along. I cannot say the things I feel, and so I sing my evening song, for to admire and for to see, for to be'old this world so wide. It never done no good to me, but I can't drop it if I tried.